Tonight, the I-Team with America's long war.
5 years after the drug lord El Chapo Guzman was convicted and sentenced to life in prison, our investigative reporter Chuck Gowdie going inside the continuing battle to control Chapo's continuing cartel. Chuck.
Cheryl, the shadow of American drug warriors is long, but tonight's I-Team special leans forward to 2025 BC, beyond Chapo. In Mexico, the drug cartels now control more than a third of that entire nation. In Chicago, cartels enlist gangs to control streets and lock down neighborhoods citywide, poisoning another generation and leaving taxpayers to fund America's longest war ever, the war on drugs, now more than 50 years old.
DA, police, search warrant. Open the door.
It is a domestic war underway since Vietnam overseas. Stakes higher at home, longer duration, government programs even costlier. Now it's the Drug Enforcement Administration fighting the fight. In 2015, DEA subduing the world's most prolific drug lord, Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. But his Sinaloa cartel raged on. And on the front lines, so did DEA's Special Response Team. In our backyards, running up against drug dealers with shoulder-launched rockets and cartel operatives with full basement labs.
Through the conflicts that we had overseas, a lot of lessons were learned in the military, so we were able to modify that into what we do here.
Police department search warrant!
The I-Team embedded with this SRT squad, drilling on potentially dangerous drug busts, training to deal with high-powered, rapid-fire weapons. Special Agent Chris Gear heading up sessions at the Multi-Agency Academic Cooperative, or MAC, a nonprofit first responder training facility tucked away in Valparaiso, Indiana, the campus offering a safe space to run through worst-case scenarios.
For SRT to get involved, there has to be a threat matrix, so we're only going after the most violent, people with a history of gun use, histories of resisting the police.
I'm going to set up here on this
SRT is DEA's elite force, this group serving Illinois, Indiana, and Wisconsin. Operators trained in surprise entry tactics, weapon systems, and defensive strategies. The threats constantly evolving. Weapons that the people you're going after may have. That has certainly changed over the last decade, has it not?
It's drastically changed. There's switches on Glocks now to make them fully automatic, and there's other threats of that nature.
Recently, SRT in Wisconsin executing a warrant targeting this military-grade portable rocket, offered, according to authorities, as payment for pounds of methamphetamine. And a major drug bust in South Bend, Indiana, unearthing an arsenal, cash, and an illegal fentanyl pill operation in a home basement. Feds say the warrants were executed safely and arrests made in both cases. But a major focus of this team is the international illicit drug pipeline.
Who's controlling the overseas markets to bring the dope into the States? And then once it's here, how to neutralize that level of player more than your street dealers.
These new DEA intelligence reports obtained tonight by the I-Team describe an opioid threat that remains dire and is of grave concern. As the I-Team has reported in recent years, this intel cites a majority of illicit sales by two cartels, Sinaloa and the New Generation, with Chicago a mega hub for both, peddling Mexican fentanyl, heroin, methamphetamine, and cocaine.
In some ways, you could say it's sort of a game of cat and mouse. And, you know, the drug markets have changed dramatically. The drugs that people are consuming have changed dramatically. While law enforcement has been after that, it's also been very difficult to keep a handle on it because these are illicit economies and people are doing things in ways that are not easy to detect.
We end tonight with rare good news from the narco world. For the first time in more than 5 years, there is a national decrease in overdose deaths. Fatal ODs falling 14.5% from June of last year to this past June, according to the DEA. This attributed to less lethal fentanyl pills coming from Mexico and also to naloxone injections being widely available that reverse the effects of opioid overdoses. Demand and production may not be down, but in a criminal world measured by deaths, fewer of them is a good thing by any measure.
Yeah. All right. Looking for a bright light in there. Thank you, Chuck. Appreciate it.